Hello friends, welcome back to Sanctuary Gardens. Once again, I'm Jolene, and goodness, it's been a long time since I've had a video on here. Life has been very full for sure, and my little boy's keeping me very busy. I wanted to start this new year with a video, and what topic do I pick? I pick seeds. If you're wanting to start your own seeds this year, I'm sure you have a lot of questions about, the seed packet says it's a hybrid. What about heirloom? What about GMO? What does open pollinated mean? Should I buy organic seed? Today I'm answering all those questions for you. So first I want to talk about hybrid seeds. There is a lot of confusion when it comes to hybrid seeds. A lot of people confuse hybrid seeds with GMO seeds. And I'm going to be talking about GMO in just a minute here. But I want to let you know right off, they are not the same. Hybrid and GMO are not the same. When it comes to the word hybrid, I want you to think of dogs or us, people actually. We are all hybrids that our father and our mother had a baby, and that baby is a hybrid. We don't have the exact same characteristics and genetics as both our parents. We have some qualities from our dad and some qualities from our mom, but we are a hybrid. So hybrid in itself is not bad. And that's where I think that hybrids get a really bad rep. A lot of people view them as something bad. Now, there are some cons when it comes to hybrids, and we're going to talk about those in a minute. All seeds that you can start right now in your garden, all those plants were at one point hybrids. Even heirlooms, all heirlooms used to be hybrids. Our parents and grandparents, great-grandparents would be planting stuff, and those plants would cross-pollinate, and then they'd plant the seeds and they'd get something a little bit different the next year. That's a hybrid. And after a while, some of those stabilized and became heirlooms, which we're going to talk about in a minute. It was around the 1950s, I believe, that we started kind of taking control of the pollination process and breeding plants with specific qualities that we liked to try to create a bigger, better plant, a bigger, better produce. And so we started that process and started creating hybrids, which is what we can buy today. There are people who are plant breeders, that is a real job, who very carefully, tightly control how different plants breed. So they will have, let's say they have a tomato that is disease resistant, and then they have this tomato that is really flavorful. And they say, I would like to add the disease resistance to the flavor of this tomato. So there's a very controlled process of pollinating those, breeding them, and creating a new plant that hopefully has those two qualities. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but sometimes it does. And then that plant, that new plant, is an F1 hybrid. That's another thing you'll notice on your hybrid seeds. So I have here, this is bodacious corn that I'm going to be growing hopefully this year. And right next to the word bodacious, it has an F1. That basically means that this is the first generation F1 hybrid. And sometimes there'll be an F2, that's the second generation. Hybrid seeds are very popular among big farmers and growers because the wonderful thing about hybrids is they are very reliable. Like when you plant the seeds, you know exactly what you're getting. They're more disease resistant. They're bred for longer storage life in the supermarket. And so they've created products that people like or that do well in the stores. And so that's why hybrid has become such a popular thing among the farmers and growers. For the home gardener, you can as well grow hybrid. And if you want to grow a very specific thing that you buy in the supermarket and you say, I really like this, Roma tomato that I have in the store, you can buy a hybrid Roma tomato that will produce tomatoes just like what you buy in the store. There are a few cons to growing hybrid seeds. The first one I would say is sometimes the flavor isn't quite as good, some people say. I think this is kind of a subjective thing because flavor is very subjective. But some people love the unique and more robust flavors that an heirloom provides. The second con that you might consider is hybrids are kind of the standard things that like the supermarket produce that you'd find. It's the very standard stuff. You don't have maybe quite as much unique variety as you would find in an heirloom. So if you're wanting purple carrots or purple cauliflower or purple tomatoes, I don't know why I'm on the purple kick right now, but if you want something really unusual, the heirloom varieties typically tend to have more of those unique, fun things. And the hybrids tend to be more run-of-the-mill standard stuff. They do have some cool things too, but you just don't get quite as much variety. The third con is if you are a seed saver and you want to save seeds, do know that if you plant a hybrid seed, it is not going to be what you expect it to be. And this is something that I think one reason why hybrids get such a bad rap, besides the fact that I think people confuse them with GMO, is that if you plant a hybrid seed, let's say you save the seed from an early girl tomato and you plant that seed, you will not be getting an early girl tomato. You'll be getting a new hybrid. It's something different, but it'll kind of be reverting back to the characteristics of the mother and the father plant. It won't be an early girl tomato. So for some people, it's really important to be self-sustainable, where they can plant seeds and save them and replant and so on. Then hybrid's really not the best option for you. You can still plant them and you can save the seeds and plant those. Just know that it won't be the plant that you expect it to be. It'll be something completely different. Okay, now let's talk about heirlooms. I love heirlooms, and I mostly grow heirlooms in my garden because they're just so cool. Heirloom vegetables and fruit are not any special kind of thing. They are only seeds that have been passed down from generation to generation. In fact, I think if a seed is younger than 50 years, it's not considered an heirloom. Like, it has to be 50 to 100 years or older of a seed that has been passed down from generation to generation. Think of like a family heirloom, how it's passed down. Heirloom, that's the whole idea. So some advantages for growing heirlooms. The first one is the vast variety and the stories that these seeds have been around for so long. It's really awesome. The second reason that a lot of people grow heirlooms for is the ability to save the seeds and get the exact same plant. So unlike hybrid, which if you save the seeds and you plant those, it creates a completely new hybrid plant. When it comes to heirlooms, you can save those seeds and plant them and get the exact same plant as what you planted earlier. And I love planting seeds that have history, that have a story. You know, it's really fun, and I love carrying on that tradition, being a part of that history. Let's talk about open pollinated. Open pollinated plants are simply varieties of seeds that, when planted, will produce the exact same variety as the parent plant. That's pretty much it. Hybrid plants can't do this, and heirlooms do. What about organic seed? Personally, I'm not opposed to buying seed that is not organic. I prefer to buy mostly organic seed because I like supporting the businesses that are continuing that legacy. Yet, I am not against growing seed that's not organic. To me, it's more important that I grow organic more than what the people who are producing the seed, how they grew. Now let's talk about GMOs. I am not going to go into full detail about GMOs, especially the ethical and moral implications of GMOs, because I feel like this is something that is beyond my expertise. But let me just clear a few things up. First of all, I hope I cleared up that hybrids are not GMO seeds. Please understand that. The second thing I want to clear up is that it is literally impossible for you to accidentally buy GMO seeds as a home gardener. It's actually illegal for GMO seeds to be sold to the general public. Big ag and some of the big farmers and such, they can get GMO seeds, but we can't. GMO stands for genetically modified organisms. And the thing that's different when it comes to GMO is that the GMO seeds are bred where something that is not genetically plant derived is inserted microscopically into the seed to create maybe more disease resistant or such. So rest assured, you're not growing GMO seed. If you have a seed packet that says non-GMO, at that point, it's just advertising. They're just trying to sell the seed. All the seeds you're buying are non-GMO. So just get that out of your head. Don't worry about the GMO seeds. All right, so to wrap things up, I know there's just like a lot of stuff we were covering here. So I'm hoping that I've been able to clear up at least somewhat some of these mystifying terms that you've seen when you start looking into your seed packets. And do know that this is an awesome way to begin your garden from seed. I mean, it's just so cool to think about how tiny the seeds are, and they grow into such huge plants that produce so much. And so I don't want you to be scared. Start the process, buy some seed packets and just get started. Don't get paralyzed by a fear that you're going to accidentally buy GMO seeds, or, oh no, I'm growing a hybrid, that's bad. Instead, focus on, hey, cool, I started my garden from this tiny little seed. I hope that gives you some encouragement today. I have some really cool content that I'm going to be hopefully pulling out in the next couple months. And so hit that subscribe button and go out and grow something. God bless.